Hey, how's it going out there, everybody? Just checking in today. I know I haven't had a video in a week or so. Um, I have had a truck breakdown. I'm kind of getting used to these things with this Freightliner I got. Unfortunately, this one is a really expensive one. It's had me down for over a week now. Um, Supposed to Today's Sunday. They're looking at Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe having me back on the road. That would put me down for 10 days. So little warning to you new guys out there. I always talk about numbers and the owner-operator thing. So you definitely want to have you a good emergency fund. The first time I bought a truck, this has been close to, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago now. The first truck I bought, I risked it, and I didn't have a lot of savings built up, and it worked out okay. The truck was a decent truck. I made money, sold it, got on, with things. This truck I have now, it's a perpetual problem. I'm actually thinking about just getting rid of it after I get this repair done. So I was cruising back to the house last Sunday, and it was actually last Saturday night. I was cruising. I had enough hours. I was going to get to the house with about 20 minutes left. I was coming through Wisconsin, 65 mile an hour, cruising down 94, run together there for a little bit. I was running down that. I was in that area. I think it might actually been after the 90, 94. I can't remember. It was pretty flat ground. I wasn't pulling hard. I didn't have a lot of weight on, and the power divider and rear diff pretty much turned into a rear end slushy in the diff. I just heard a loud clank. I pulled the truck over. I noticed I wasn't getting any check engine lights or anything, so I knew it wasn't the transmission or anything to do with that. And so I knew right away it was probably the rear end or the diff. About a week or two, I think it was about 2 weeks before, the breather valve on that front diff, I was having some problems with it, and the front top seal actually gave way or gave out. And I pulled over, and I had it checked, make sure I had enough oil to get back. I had that seal replaced, had that breather valve replaced, but apparently I don't know if that wasn't replaced right or if that did some damage to the situation, because I don't know how much oil got out of that seal or out of that valve, to be honest. They only added 2 quarts to that diff, and if I'm not mistaken, that holds like, I want to say that holds like I don't know, 10 quarts, 12 quarts, something like that. So I thought it was still okay, but yeah, not a good afternoon last Saturday night. Of course, it was the Saturday before Easter, and having to get towed. The Freightliner dealership I had it towed to wasn't even open on Sunday. They didn't even look at it till Tuesday. Couldn't even get it in to look at it till Tuesday, and then they gave me a 1 week to fix it. I called another Freightliner dealership that was about 60 miles down the road. Now, mind you, I had this truck towed 68 miles to this Freightliner dealership, but I figured, hey, if I can get it back on the road a week early, I'll pay another tow bill and have it towed somewhere else. Because the first tow bill was a little higher because of I had the trailer with it, but after I got to the Freightliner dealership last Monday, I paid $600 to have the trailer recovered and the load that was on it delivered. So that's another thing. If you're an owner-operator, you need to factor that into your breakdowns. You got to have those loads recovered, because you can't have them sitting on a trailer at a Freightliner dealership for a week, especially refrigerated freight. This load actually was not refrigerated. It was a keep from freezing load, which, it's late enough in the winter, I ain't worried about that. But to give you the numbers here on this breakdown, I'm paying $6,835 $6,835 to have the rear end basically rebuilt, new power divider, new gears, new wheel bearings. I mean, when you get that much metal shavings in your oil, you're going to have to replace a lot of stuff. I thought that was a little high to have it done. I called another Freightliner dealership. They said, no, that's about what we're going to charge you. Then I called a couple independent shops just to get because that labor at the dealership is ridiculous. But the independent shops told me, to rebuild all that, they're going to be in the same ballpark. And they said it wasn't going to be, they didn't think it would be worth having it towed to their shop. I wasn't going to save enough money. And one of them told me that they were actually farther behind than this Freightliner dealership. So all in, $68.35 on getting the rear end rebuilt, $850 for a tow. It was 68 miles I was towed. It was Saturday night before Easter, so I knew I was going to pay a little bit more for that tow. I actually called about, I think the first six tow places I called told me they wouldn't even quote me a price on it because they didn't have nobody that would do it. And $600 to have the load recovered. So as of right now, I'm out $8,285. Plus, I've been down for over a week now. Right at a week. Today makes a week. I'm probably still got 2 to 3 days to go before I'm back on the road. So just keep that in mind. Like if you're going to be an owner operator, don't come in too light with that savings account because we're talking almost $8,300 here. By the time you factor in, I had to have my wife drive over 100 miles to come get me because I'm going to sit over there all weekend, for gas for that, and we're talking over $8,300 a week of no revenue. That hurts, especially toward the end of the month. I tend to pay all my bills at the beginning of the month, so the end of that last week and a half, 2 weeks of the month is really when I stack my cash for the month. So that hurt. Luckily I had my bills paid for the month though when this happened, so I'm not sitting here having to pay bills out of other than the repair bill out of savings. But yeah, just keep that in mind, guys. If you're out there want to be an owner operator, just keep that in mind. There could be a 10 grand bill right around the corner at any time, so you got to keep that savings up. That's kind of, with my truck, that's kind of what I think of as a safe padding. It's about 10 grand. If the truck goes over 10 grand in repairs, I'm not sure. This repair here, I'm actually thinking, was it worth it? Should I have just sold this truck as is with the rear end out of it and went and put this $8,200 and whatever I could have got out of my truck towards a newer, nicer truck? Because this truck it's right at the 800,000 mark. So just something to think about, guys. But as soon as I get to running again, I'll start making videos of my loads again. And thanks for watching, everybody. Stay safe out there. Try to keep your head above water.